this project was crazy because we were given a very short timeline because it was like, this thing could happen, you know? And then now it's like, go, it's happening. And then it was like, and now you have 3 days to write a script. And it was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But then the thing that you realize, and this is going back to process, is that like, if you've spent 20 years writing, you're spending all those 20 years writing the thing that's going to teach you to do it in 3 days.
Right.
You know? Like when the pressure's on, you know how to do it now because you've done it every single day since, you know, 1997.
I think you mentioned it in your podcast with Nick, which is like you said, we've pretty much been working our whole lives for this one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that, but that's like, that's interesting because there's so much pressure there. Mm-hmm. Like there's so much like, we can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Like we need to be like.
It was good that we didn't have time to think about that that much.
Yeah. Well, and food-wise, the first year was a very confusing year here. So it was like, who are we? Until I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to be who I was. And then it was like, at that point, I felt like the pressure was off. Because I already knew what I did wrong. And I knew that, like, at that point, I was just trying to be who I was, which I'm a Cuban-American kid, and I want to tell my story through food.
Yeah.
But I had a whole lifetime to really use that as, like, these are the reasons, and these are the emotions and the thoughts and the whatever. Like, all that stuff was going into a menu. And for me, the pressure now is, like, consolidating that into 30 items. Mm-hmm. That's the pressure for me. I no longer feel pressure in like, what story am I telling? You know, like you guys knew what story we had to tell. It was like, how can we most convey the story that we want people to feel it the most? Yeah. I think there's a lot of like depth in that. Mm-hmm. And I think sadly the word responsibility, because again, we're telling a story that not a lot of people want to know. Or not that they don't want to know, but they didn't know they should probably hear. Yeah. You know? Yeah. We're not just a pretty beach 90 miles away. Mm-hmm. We're more than that. So, I don't know, 3 days is still pretty tight.
Yeah. It was tight. But I also think that it was also like the history that we had with the project at that point because, you know, the first meeting that we had was 8 hours stuck together, which it altered every the way we work, the way theater works is this. Vanessa writes a script. Vicky gets the script. Vicky puts the script up, puts the play up. We talk about it. Something's changed. Boom. Done. Mm-hmm. Opening night. You leave. That's the structure. And you're on to the next one. This time it's like, hi, you're in this space. Mm-hmm. It's not a stage anymore. And now we're like, the space is telling you what the story can do. And so all of a sudden the writer director are doing this whole like dance.
And it was so fun.
It was a blast.
It was so
It changes everything.
Yeah.
And so
I remember that day. We like laid out. We were at
8 hours.
Chain.
Yeah.
And then at Exquisito.
Yeah.
Exquisito hated us. They hated us.
But I love the Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's good.
Listen, they have good stuff.
Yeah.
They just hated us because they were like, esto no es un Starbucks.
Yeah, we would be like, un café con leche.
Bye. Coman algo o váyanse.
Yeah.
You know, it was like otro café. And they were like, no. Literally, that was our experience. We love them. We will go back.
Yes.
But we were like, it was like a piece of paper, and it was the space, and how does the story link to the space? And Vicky's like, it's not going to take you that much time to go over there. And what if this? And what if that? And all of a sudden, our brains.
Love your imitation of me. I just sound like this when I'm directing.
It's very harsh. Yeah. Very middle America. But.
That's me, middle America.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome to combine the brains, I think. And then we were like, oh, we actually have kind of one brain in a weird way.
Yeah. And I think that's part of like just being understand like collaboration wise, like when it comes to the writing at the end of the day, it's her final say, and when it comes to the directing, it's my final say. But what's really fun, I mean, for me as a director, it's just such a blast when she like writes the thing, right? She does the thing, and then she like puts like this thing. She's like, and Vicky will figure this out. Boom, like she leaves the chunk there, which every time she does that, I'm like, okay.
Pressure.
The pressure. Yeah. But it's also like directors usually don't get that freedom and don't like, there's this awesome thing that it's my favorite mode. Like when we're the VMV mode and people are like freaked out by us, we sometimes don't even speak in full sentences. that sounds like a cutesy thing. Like, we finish each other's sentences. No, it really does happen like that. Yeah. But we're in the room and she's like, okay, let's go. Like, we don't know what we're doing here. So I start playing with the actors. She starts writing. And then before we finish, she sends a script. We go over there and then we're moving things around. And it's just
like, where's the script? It's in your inbox. Look at your phone. Then
and
they
so
have
you're
to do
moving.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's just, I mean, that happens with time, working with someone for so long.
Yeah.
Myself and Chef Matt have worked together for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. So it's a very interesting dynamic because I'm a little crazy and he's a little more reserved. Uh-huh. So like I'll write a new menu and, now because of our expansion and where we're at, I'm not working the line anymore because how it used to work would be I would come up with a menu. We would talk about a menu. He would tell me his thoughts. We would adjust some things. And then I would work the line and he would expedite or vice versa. But now he expedites and I'm working at another restaurant or expediting somewhere else or whatever. So I'll write a menu and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. And he'll be like, this doesn't work. Or this is outlandish and this isn't going to work. Or this right here, only you can do this or only I can do this. And it's like, okay. So you have to, and that only comes with comfort.
That right there, only you can do this and only I can do this.
Yeah.
So then does it get taken out? Because you can.
It does.
It does. It does. Right now.
And it's not, I don't think that's a bad thing. But when you run a kitchen, you're coaching a team.
Yep.
And a lot of the people that work for you are younger.
Yep.
They're talented and they're hardworking, but they just don't have the experience that you do. So you need to cater to your menu to your team.
Yep.
So it's like what their strengths are. This thing is something that you're very good at. Not many people are very good at that. So we can't do that,
Well, and I think that's what's good, good leadership.
Yeah.
I think I have a question for you now that you're expanding, because this is something that we're dealing with. Like now we're growing and things are getting bigger. And so like the collaboration now has to expand beyond us.
Right. Like we can't be there every second.
Right. Which is like huge.
Which is essentially what was happening in Amparo.
Like how do you guys deal now with like still maintaining the collaboration and also like handing off like to other people? Like how are you dealing with that?
You sleep less. I don't know. I mean, that's, I feel like you hire well, you sleep less, and you still worry as much.
Yeah.
I mean, we're super fortunate that the managers and the chefs in this company are all people that are extremely dedicated, extremely talented, and people that I've known for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So, that's very difficult to come by.
Yeah.
I think we have an incredible group of people here. Even with that, for me, because I still have like certain kind of like filters and guidelines that I need to go through so I'm comfortable with everything. So I know how everything is being handled. So I know that when it gets to the plate and to the guest, then it's something that we're all good with. Mm-hmm. It's really building a more consistent and efficient thing. Mm-hmm. So it's just more filters is the way that I've felt that it works. So Matt Hawkins, Gio Fester, and myself have worked together for almost over 10 years. A couple other people like Veronica Valdivia and Justin Flitt and Nunzio, we've all worked together for a long time too. But Gio, Matt, and myself have worked together almost exclusively for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. So when Ariad opened, we were together all the time. And we worked the line together, we prepped together, we came up with the menu together. It was like, and now all three of us are in different places. Mm-hmm. So, and we all have different directions. So even for that, like putting Chef Matt in a position that he runs this restaurant, there was still things that he had to learn that was like very difficult for me to even like understand. Like, we need to do these guidelines and this stuff because before we didn't need them because it was us doing them.
Yes.
So exactly my point. And it's now we have to go back to like, we're starting from a zero, we're starting because it's not us, it's other people and they're younger and we believe in them and their work ethic and their skill set. So how do we get them there? Mm-hmm.